All right, welcome back to the Northwest Logic podcast. I'm Devin, and today I'm joined by Langston Wilson of UDUB basketball. How you doing, Langston?
Doing well, man. Doing well. Happy to be here.
So how's the transfer been so far? I know you just came in a couple months ago, but how's it been?
The transition's been good. It's a lot different, just from being on the East Coast and everything like that. But the transition's been good. The people and the fans have been really welcoming. So all in all, I 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10, definitely.
Good, good. How's the team chemistry been? Like getting along with the guys good or
Team chemistry has been great. Honestly, all in all, I know a bunch of my teammates have said it. But I mean, it's like we got to kind of keep just keep going back to it. Like I've never really ever been on a team like this that's kind of been that close, especially like from day one. You come in, a lot of guys usually are pretty timid or kind of, just kind of weird around each other. But out here, from day one, we're all just really close and really good with each other. It's been great, man. A lot of people had thought, maybe okay, it's early when adversity hits, but I mean, adversity hits, we compete and go at each other in practice, and right after, we're all just as close as we've always been. If not even getting closer now with us scrimmaging and playing games and things like that. So
you guys definitely look like you guys have been bonding really well, and the chemistry between you guys on the court has been awesome. I mean, that game against Central the other day was really exciting, especially for all the UW fans. I mean, we haven't had anyone as athletic as you play for us since maybe Isaiah Stewart. So it's gonna be real fun to watch you. I want to talk a little bit about like just your journey in general. I know your dad back in 2010 was diagnosed with the connective tissue disorder of some sort, right?
yeah.
Which is, do you want to explain that a little bit for everyone?
So back in 2010, I remember we were kind of at the dinner table, and we were eating dinner, and my dad just kind of felt funny. And he got up from the dinner table, and it was one of the things like, I got to go to the hospital. So he went to the hospital, and it ended up that he had a aortic dissection and a stroke. So he went through that, had emergency heart surgery, and then had another heart surgery to put the valve in the mechanical valve in his chest. And then he came home for a couple of days. And then I remember being outside playing, and I came inside just for some reason, and I heard my mom scream, and my dad had collapsed. He had another heart attack. I remember I went upstairs, and his eyes were just white, and he wasn't moving. So I called the ambulance. They came and got him, and he had to get 2 extra open heart surgeries. So he had got 2 open heart surgeries, which had led to all of the kids being tested. And the only genetic outlier that came out of those tests was me, out of my brother and sisters.
And you were 12, I
At the
believe,
time.
right?
Yeah.
How did getting that news for you impact, yourself and your love for sports in general?
Honestly, I really wasn't as concerned about them taking away sports at the time, because at 12, I really wasn't into sports like that. It was they didn't want me playing instruments like that. I had stopped playing saxophone for a couple of months, and that's kind of the thing that kind of disappointed me the most, because I just really wasn't in the sports circle, really. So that kind of was the main thing for me. It didn't really, the sports thing kind of didn't hit, and me really understanding what I was missing out on until, real team sports start, 7th, 8th, and then high school.
And speaking of high school, during high school, you're the team manager, right, for the school all 4 years. How is it like just to be that close to the team, be able to connect with the players or your teammates in general, and be able to watch them that close?
It was great. I mean, I loved all my teammates. I had opportunity to be around a lot of great players. Isaiah Wong, who was preseason ACC Player of the Year this year, was with him for 2 years and watched his growth, and just seeing him now, I'm just so happy for him and his mom and his brothers. Ajiri, who's at Ryder, who's starting now, Tariq, who unfortunately got injured last season, his freshman year at Wake Forest, and then last season he got COVID and was inactive. Who's going to be back this year, and I think he's going to be really, really good for Wake Forest basketball this year. Tyrese Watson, watching him grow from a little freshman to now, he's going to be one of the best guards in junior college this year. Seeing Donovan Rodriguez from a little freshman growing up now. Malik Edwards, just being able to be around all these guys that, and you look, and by the time they're at their like senior year, they're in the Catholic League MVP race, or those guys that I graduated with, seeing them with their respective college teams winning and getting accolades and things like that, man. It's an honor, man. Like, being able to be around those guys, man, it's really, truly a blessing.
Did you ever practice with the team or anything like that during high school, or was it all just...
I never was able to. I never received the clearance to be able to even really do that. I just kind of was just kind of there on the side. I would in preseason stuff, we would all go to the park or something and play. Like maybe me, Isaiah, Ajiri. It's kind of crazy saying this. Like, we're not talking about former top 100 recruits. But we were all going to the park to play pickup against randoms, and it was fun. That's probably some of the best basketball memories I've ever had, because even though I couldn't play, going to the park with those guys just made me feel like a part of the team. Just made me feel that much closer with those guys. So
definitely. After you graduated high school, what was going in your mind? What were the next steps for you after that?
I didn't really have one. I got a job. That was the biggest thing for me. I was working at a seafood market, working about 50 hours a week every week. It was blue collar labor, but
that's what I heard, like cleaning some fish, right? Gutting some fish. Yeah.
Cutting fish, peeling shrimp, you name it. But with seafood, it was hard work, but it was good money. I had a great boss and I had great coworkers. I love all those guys there. Sage, Big Steven, Little Steven. Everyone that was there. Met with Matt when Matt was there. Our driver. I kind of loved it there. And then around the end of February, early mid-March is when I moved to Atlanta to live with my sister. And I got another job out there. As soon as I moved there, I think a week later, I got a job out there at Skyline Park, which is like a rooftop, like amusement park kind of thing, like a high end, go to the rooftop in the Atlanta summer, and they got drinks and mini golf and like arcade games, and there's a restaurant up there. It's up there, working carnival games basically, and cleaning up trash. So just some more blue collar work. So
you're playing some pickup games like during that time as well, like your free time.
When I wasn't at work, I would go work out. I would play some pickup. I would go and this one guy, Matt, he's a coach, and after work, because I would work the late shift, I would work from 3 until 11:30 p.m. and he would open the gym up for me late, and I would just go in there and get up shots, because even though I had never played, that's just that was my calm, go get up shots. So from 11:30 to 1 a.m. I was in the gym just hella late. That's why when I'm here, or even when I was at junior college, and people were like, "Why do you like to go to the gym so late?" It's just what I'm used to. It's just my calming, just my my breath of fresh air, you know what I mean? Because those were the only times. It was either early mornings or late nights. Other than that, I had to work. So,
what was it like to get the news of the clearance to be able to play? And when did you get that news? In Atlanta or before?
When I was in junior college, it wasn't necessarily clearance to play. It was I had signed, because I was 19 at the time, a non-liability agreement
Hmm.
um, that relieved all um, kind of responsibility, I guess, if in case anything had happened from the junior college. I didn't get clearance until I was here and went through further testing, and
Oh, okay, okay.
it went through that. I was misdiagnosed from the beginning, which is kind of all crazy.
What made you have the confidence to give yourself, the clearance to in junior college?
I had a dream. I remember I had the paper, the non-liability agreement, and I went home that night and I prayed, and I had a dream, and I just remember being in a black and white gym. It was just like everything wasn't just black and white, and nothing was in color. But I just remember seeing fans, and I was playing Division I basketball, and I wrote that dream down in my notes, and I went the next day, and I said, okay, I think God has a plan for me. I think this is what He wants me to do. So I signed it, and that was the start of my junior college career.
And that was at Georgia Highlands,
Yeah,
right? Yeah. I think I read somewhere that the head coach Jonathan Merritt received like a highlight video of you, right? Via text to
yeah,
see your
yeah.
game.
So how me and him got in contact was I was playing pickup at like an open run, like it was like there were college pro players, all type of good players, and I remember I had begged and asked anyone I could to come play in the open run. Not just because I wanted to play against good players, and
Hmm.
I had a pretty good showing. There were a bunch of media and stuff there. Um, I really hadn't been on the basketball media scene, so it wasn't like, you know what I mean. There was a bunch of media and stuff there, and they put together a highlight tape of me. The guy that ran it, Coach Graham, sent it to Coach JJ, and he had called me, and we had that conversation, and then I went up to the school and worked out, and then I signed my national letter of intent that day.
That's awesome. How much do you think Coach Merritt impacted your basketball career in general going up to this point?
I mean, other than my dad, he's the next highest factor, and then coming in third would be Coach Hawk, because those are the only three coaches really that I've ever had in my life.
Mhm.
My dad, obviously being my father and being a basketball junkie, he would coach me when I wasn't playing. You know what I mean? He would coach me off of me playing pickup. Like he would just, that's just how he is. And then Coach JJ was the only coach that I've ever really played for. You know what I mean? That was my first experience in basketball, really. So I think the way he influenced me was like great. We butted heads at time, but all in all, like that man, more or less, told me. I remember he told me when I committed there, and I remember after our first game, and everyone was all getting looked at, and St. John's in there and all these other schools in there. And I was pissed off because I felt like I didn't play well because none of the coaches had talked to me. They were all talking to my teammates and stuff. And this is my first ever basketball game under regulation, mind you. I had, I think I had 11 points and 9 rebounds, something like that. And I'm thinking I played back. They didn't talk to me. He's just like, listen, like, look, just stay the course, stay focused, stay locked in. Like it's gonna come. And then when they did come, it was a flood. It was ridiculous. He's like he's like an uncle to me, honestly. Like I really consider him family. Like him and my dad. Like you think they were brothers. Like they talk. Like even without me. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's crazy because I remember when I got a bunch of smaller schools that offered me, and I was good with it. I was just happy to have decisions and choices. And then I remember he put out a tweet. I remember this very tweet. He said that all of these high major schools are calling me about Langston Wilson. And I think at the time it was Maryland, Virginia Tech, Maryland, Virginia Tech. I think like Murray State. University of Georgia, all the big schools, because I hadn't had a high major offer at that point. He's all the big schools. He was like, who's going to be the first to make the bubble pop for Langston Wilson? Like, you can literally look up the tweet on his page, Coach JJ Merritt. I remember that the tweet exactly that night. I remember University of Maryland called and offered me, and that's when all hell broke loose.
Yeah, I think I read that tweet as well. I saw that, and I think you've met with tons of those schools, right? That like Kansas and Penn State, Oregon, a lot of big choices. Going back to your first, live exhibition games that you had, how was it breaking? How long did it take for you to, break off the rust, or I should say, just get used to playing, in an exhibition game?
From Thursday.
Sorry, going back to your very first back at
in JC. Oh,
yeah.
And my first jamboree, like I wasn't really good at all. My first jamboree, it was crazy. Like I had never been around that many good players. Like, I mean, there were teams in that jamboree with guys that had every college in the country there, but there were NBA scouts at those jamborees. We're sitting in Florida and we're watching Chip Pola play, and we're watching Mario Meding play. He transferred from Rhode Island, and he's 6'11", small forward. Catch and shoot, bring the ball down, face up, score. And I remember watching, and we had just walked in, and I remember looking, and this is when we were at, this would have been, was it Tallahassee or was it in Orlando? It was one of the two. And looking at this kid, and I'm like, dang, like it's some talent out here. And as good as he was, his team was down by 20 to, and it's funny, they were getting beat by who would have been my teammate had I had stayed at Alabama, Keon Ellis at Florida Southwestern. And like seeing the level of talent and you know what I mean, you don't really understand, the level of recruiting that goes on in junior college until you see it. And at these live period tournaments, it's like, I mean, my first jamboree, me and my teammate, Florida State, the entire coaching staff sat in to watch me and one of my teammates. You know what I mean? Like, you don't think that level of recruiting when you think junior college, but until you go in there and you see the logos on the shirts and the hats and the clipboards, and you see Florida State, you see Kansas State, UCLA, Oregon. We're talking every high major school, low major, mid major school. There's probably 350 coaches in that gym, and it's like everyone talks about, Peach Jam and Under Armour Circuit and this, that, and the third, and that it's nothing. It's nothing compared to it. Like, I'm trying to tell people that because it's like, with those circuits, all of their finals and all that stuff is going on at the same time. Peach Jam going on at the same time as the Adidas going on. So those coaches are split up. We're talking about head coaches and assistants are all in the same building for these jamborees because they're all going on. Exactly. Like, and they're more than likely all in one spot. Whereas like it being split apart, some colleges can't make it. Like, I've never seen anything. I've never seen 5 basketball games going on and there being 25 Division I coaches at every single game. Like, it's crazy. Like, it was just like I didn't really do much at all. Like, my first jamboree, like I played good my final game, and I remember I got my first offer at my first jamboree from Alcorn State from Coach E. David. That's still my guy to this day. I love Coach David to death. Like, he's just a cool dude. Like him and Coach JJ are really close. They like family, you know what I mean? But there wasn't really, I wouldn't say I really ever really shook off the rust. I mean, I had a good jamboree, our last one, and when it was in Atlanta at Lake Point Sports Center, Lake Point Champion Center, I had a really good showing there. But my first 2 jamborees, it was a struggle. It was hard trying to understand it and the flow of the game, but how it was fast, but slow, but fast. It was hard. It was difficult.
I also think I read somewhere where Coach Merritt said that you're the first player in his career to ask to come off the bench.
Yeah.
And you guys went on a big winning streak after that, right? What made you want to approach, coach to do that?
My freshman year, it was really like I was really up and down a lot of games. And, we weren't really playing well. We were 3-4 at the time. And we were 3-4 at the time, and I said, I gotta like get my spark back, get my fire back, bring me off the bench. And he brought me off the bench, and we won at Tallahassee. They were like top 10 in the country. We were down by like 17 with 3 minutes left, and we came back and won the game.
Wow.
One of them, like we pressed and forced like 8 turnovers, like in 3 minutes. It was crazy. It's probably the craziest basketball game I've ever been a part of. Legitimately down 17 with 3 minutes left. Came back and won that game, and I came off the bench. That had just like a fire coming off the bench. You know what I mean? And just rolled with it. Just stayed with it the whole time. Just like felt, coming off the bench, that might be my niche. You know what I mean? So just continue to come off the bench and produce and help win games.
What drove you to choose Alabama when you did?
I thought at the point in time, it was the best fit. I really wanted to play with Javon Cornelly. I really wanted to play with Keon Ellis as well. And then, I felt as though I could come in and fill in that role as that would be left by, Herb Jones departing for the draft. I felt as though I could come in at that forward spot and come in and bring a lot of the same things, I felt like, I worked on my game a lot, being someone, all the highlights always show, dunks and athleticism, but someone that really works in the game and, a lot better passer than a lot of people would think, and a better ball handler than people would give me credit for as well. So, seeing that and seeing the way they ran their offense and, not being a great 3-point shooter and seeing that how much they had success with someone that really isn't a great 3-point shooter, I felt as though that was the best fit at the time.
So after the, you got released from your scholarship from there, what were some schools that you were looking at other than, UW, obviously?
Texas Tech was recruiting me really hard. So was University of Maryland.
You take any visits to these schools after, or?
No, we were still in dead period. I didn't want to wait. We were still in dead period.
Yeah.
So it was Texas Tech, University of Maryland. There was Kansas State. University of Georgia. I'm trying to think. There was hell of that. A lot of schools. University of Virginia, University of Texas.
Did you ever break it down to like a final 3 or anything like that, or how'd you go about choosing?
I never broke it down. The media broke it down for me, apparently.
Yeah.
And my final 3 apparently was Texas Tech, Maryland, and who was it? Texas Tech, Maryland, and what was I'm trying to remember the final school that they had said. I can't remember. It was Texas Tech, Maryland, and someone.
Wasn't even UDUB, was it?
Nobody had expected me to come out there, honestly. It was Texas Tech, and then because people thought that I would choose to recommit to Alabama, so Alabama as well. And crystal balls start popping up. You know how that goes.
Yeah.
They were all leaning towards Texas Tech. A lot of people thought that I was really going to go to Texas Tech, and then I committed to the University of Washington.
What drove you to come here to UDUB?
A big part of it, Coach Coach Jones. Through the whole recruitment period, we really built a strong bond, even to this day. Me and him are really close. That's like my OG away from home. You know what I'm saying? He kind of reminds me of my dad. Tough love type of scenario, and he tells it like it is. And I really appreciate him for it. He did a great job recruit me, obviously, because I'm here. But
Yeah.
he was great to talk to. He always kept it real, always kept it 100. And then Coach Hop, my first conversation, I got a call from, I remember, because it was the day I released. I released my commitment. It was the day after the 12th. I was in the gym shooting. I remember North Carolina State had called the assistant, and then I was sitting there shooting on the shooting gun, and then got a call from Emmett. Me and Emmett were always close. He was like, "Yo, what's up, bro? What's up? It's good." Because Emmett was trying to. I would have went to West Virginia with Emmett, honestly, because me and Emmett were cool. And then he was like, "Yeah, how you feel about University of Washington?" I was like the one out on the West Coast. He's like, "Yeah, bro, Seattle, at the purple school." I was like, "Yeah, all right, it's cool." And he's like, "Nah, you know what I'm saying? I might probably end up going there." So, just wanted to know if if you would be, interested in talking to the coach. I would love for you to come out here and play with me. I was like, "Yeah, that's cool." And then Coach Conroy had called, and I spoke with him briefly, and then Coach Hop called right after that. And then I met Coach Jones, and then me and Coach Jones probably talked every day, like that whole like month and a half period before I committed. And then I did a Zoom call, and then Coach Hop's energy on the Zoom call is just like, man, like, this is where I need to be. Even my parents, my mom, my dad didn't want me to go so far away, so far out, but they kind of knew, even though it was so far away, like, okay, this is where my son needs to be, and the rest is history.
I mean, all the fans are super excited to have you out here and watch you guys this year. What are you most looking forward to your first season here?
As far as what?
Just in just in general, like, excited to, be able to play against, like, the D1 competition, to be able to, go against these guys in practice.
I'm excited to win.
I love that answer.
I'm excited to win with this team. That's really it. As far as D1 competition and accolades or stats or anything like that, I'm not really worried about it. I'm just excited to win with these guys. They're it's a hell of a group we got here.
Mm-hmm.
We got great leaders, great vets, all across the board, great young guys. I just want to win with this group. I know a lot of people are going to say what they're going to say, and in all likelihood, we're not going to win every single basketball game. So it's kind of like, I know who's. I'm just excited to when you lose a game. I mean, if we go undefeated, by all means, let's just go undefeated.
Yeah, right. I will.
But when we lose a game, you hear what people say, and negativity in the comments, and how they turn their back on you so quick, and people just want to pick out the negative. And I think, like, with this group, we all just have this chip on our shoulder, and the way we're going to turn it around in the next game is kind of like, man, stay where you at. You know what I mean? Just remember what you said. Remember what you said.
Negativity will drive you guys.
Exactly. We all hear what everyone's saying, and you know what, it motivates us, but it does nothing to us. You know what I mean? You're not getting under our skin. You're not making us upset. You're not making us mad. You just drive us to win more, which is you're just helping our success. You're feeding into our success. So
yeah,
I'm just so excited to get out on the court with this group and win and experience adversity, but not just experience adversity, but overcome adversity with these guys and with this group, man. So that's probably it.
I love that answer. Yeah, we're super excited to watch you guys this year. It seems like you guys are going to be exciting to watch at the least. How's it been to? 'Cause I know UDUB has a couple transfers, like PJ Fuller and Dejon Davis, things like that. How have the transfers been able to gel well, or you know what I mean? Because it's kind of sort of like a different feel.
Swag and Zoc. I mean, like we're all like this, man. Like,
You guys are just connected really well.
yeah, like
Yeah,
it's
that's
not
great.
even like it doesn't even feel like everyone's a transfer. Like, especially with a lot of the local guys, like Swag and Zoc knew each other in high school. Emmett knew
Yeah.
Swag and Zoc. Dusky knew T Brown. T Brown knew Zoc and Swag. Like everyone knows each other, so you just add new guys to the mix that are all cool people and know how to enjoy other people's company. Man, there wasn't like oh well, I'm transferring in from here, so I got to be that guy that transferred here. I want to be that guy. Oh, he's shooting too much. Oh, he's shooting too much. Oh, he's scoring too much. Oh, he's scoring too much. It's just like, bro, whatever we got to do to get it done. Like we got like 8-9 guys on this roster that any given night could score anywhere from 15 to 25 points, and every night could be someone's night, and that's what makes it so dangerous. You're going to get the consistency always, but someone can just get hot. So now you have to try to be a hot man and consistency. You just can't, man. That's why it's just so good about this team, man. Like it's not even like we're just like a group of transfers. It's just like came together. Just like it's like a bunch of distant. It's like when you meet one of your family members that you didn't know was your family member, but
Just
but
click
like
just
when
like
y'all
that.
meet each other, y'all just click because at the
Yeah.
end of the day, we're family. Like that's how it felt.
Yeah, I love that. That's exciting because I mean, team chemistry is always great and really important to watch. But thanks for coming on today and chatting with me. I had a lot of fun
Definitely,
and I can't wait to watch you the rest of the season and the team. And hope to have you on again soon.
definitely.
Yeah. You want to say anything to the fans or plug some social media, anything like that?
Um, Tuesday night, 7 p.m. home opener against Northern Illinois, and then Thursday, second home game of the year against Northern Arizona. Husky faithful, we would love to have you.
Yes. I'm sure the crowd it's going to be exciting. They always are.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thanks for joining me, Langston.
No problem.